they don't get true recovery, they are putting themselves in the path of self-destruction eventually, and they'll come back and sometimes they'll lie, tell you everything you want to hear so that you can get what you guys agreed upon in the first place. So people that do recovery conditionally, like if they say, if I do this for my recovery, then I deserve this. No, you don't. Hello, my name is Pej. I'm an interventionist and also recovery coach. I help a lot of people that are stuck in addiction or getting out of addiction or alcoholism or mental health get the life that they deserve to have. Today we're going to talk about how to tell if somebody's in relapse mode. This can pertain to people that work in treatment centers, people that work in sober livings, people that have a loved one that is newly sober that may have returned home or is back in your environment. I'm just going to be straight with you. Like when somebody's really in recovery, you know they're in recovery based off of their character, how they're acting. You know, often if somebody's still complaining about everything or making you seem like you're at fault or you're bothering them, they may not be on the right path. Those are great indicators right in the very beginning. A person that's really truly working on themselves is taking responsibility for themselves. They're not finger pointing, they're not blaming people, they're not victimizing themselves, they're not, the more that somebody talks that way, they're talking in a way to where they could very well be brewing a new recipe for them to make an excuse to build a case against you or any other situational thing that's going on in their life, to then go back in the direction of using and saying, well, nothing's worth living for anyway, I might as well just go use, right? Sometimes people come and get sober for a period of time depending on the environment too. Let's say, for example, somebody goes to sober living and says, I'm going to go to sober living, but I'll do it for 6 months or for 1 year. And then there has to be something on the other end of that, like, you need to let me come back home, or you need to start giving me money, or I need to be able to be in my relationship with you because I went and got help. Now, if somebody's going to put a time limit on the amount of time that they're going to be working on themselves, that is a red flag. But on top of that, let's say, for example, somebody does say they're going to go to sober living for a year. It doesn't take but very long for somebody to really truly get on the path of recovery. They don't need a whole year to really be on board. But what is the path of recovery? Let's say, for example, somebody's involved in the 12-step process. Well, when somebody comes into a recovery home that they practice the 12 steps in that place, the 12 steps are in order for a reason. So if somebody's working steps 1, 2, and 3, they're tapping into spirit. If they're doing 4 and 5 in the 12-step process, then they do that fearless and moral inventory. They're taking an inventory to see all the stuff that's bothered them, that's hurt them, and how they conduct themselves and what they're afraid of. But when they started getting into 6 and 7, then they're taking a look at their own shortcomings, their defects of character, if you will. And when they go out and start making amends, if they make them sincerely from the bottom of their heart, that shows that they are truly changing their character and they want to change. But the best part of it all is when they're giving it away to other people. That's when you know someone's in recovery. So I've seen people come within 3 months and really work the steps and start sponsoring other people because they're working the steps from the bottom of their heart. That person is more on the path of recovery than somebody that comes in mechanically, does stuff as a chore, doesn't really work the steps, but is just trying to look good, whether it's for the management or whether it's for their sponsor or whether it's for the treatment center or whether it's for their wife or their husband or their family or their kids. But if they're not doing this, if they're not delving deep and really getting honest with themselves and cleaning the wreckage of their past, they may be on the path of destruction. Like they may be in relapse mode, and eventually they'll go back to doing that again. So also people that do recovery conditionally, like if they say, if I do this for my recovery, then I deserve this. No, you don't deserve anything. People need to become self-supporting by their own contributions. Nobody needs to take care of them anymore. A lot of people think like, yeah, you know what? We'll support you all the way as long as you go to this place. Then afterwards, we'll continue to keep throwing money at you. That way you can have a comfortable life. How about this? Let the person humble themselves. Don't keep enabling them. Let them, they will never get it. They won't get it. In more cases than none, they will not get true recovery until they get desperate and have to live a life on their own and really grow in their recovery. Let a person flock and leave the nest rather than be stuck and not even know that they're stuck in an enabling triangulated circle, you know. So I believe that relapse prevention can be essential in a treatment setting when they do relapse prevention packets and groups, but are the people really truly listening? Because a lot of people think that they're an exception to the rule, that they're above all of that. They may have a very strong head, very strong ego. We can call it the disease of addiction that's manifesting itself. But if they don't get true recovery, they are putting themselves in the path of self-destruction eventually, and they'll come back and sometimes they'll lie, tell you everything you want to hear so that you can get what you guys agreed upon in the first place, but they'll take advantage of that and ruin it. And then they'll end up relapsing, and you have the same song and dance all over again. If you're struggling with addiction or alcoholism, you can always reach out to me if you need more help with this stuff as far as coaching or any type of intervention work. I free consultation. I'm always readily available. I'll make myself available. 310-596-9356. You can get a hold of me. My name is Pej.